fantastic panel session coming up now, which is great. Thank you so much to all of our panellists for joining us. My name's Ellis. I'm part of the sales team here at Mention Me, part of Lizzie's sales team. I've been here for 2.5 years. I'm hosting the panel. Oh God, now I'm up here. I wish I'd listened to your podcast, Send me the link afterwards. Why don't we just get started off with some introductions? Guys, could you just introduce yourselves and the companies you work for?
Yeah, start.
Yeah.
I'm Mai Lucky. I'm marketing manager at SheerLuxe and online female publishers.
So I'm Chloe Watt. I'm digital marketing performance manager at No1 Lounges, and we provide independent airport lounges regardless of class of travel or airline. You can come in and enjoy a lounge from £24, complimentary food and drink.
I'm Rajan Vashi. I look after the digital marketing strategy, particularly digital acquisition strategy at White Stuff. Not the White Company, just in case. We do sell candles, but not a lot of them. Mainly, it's a British lifestyle brand, heritage fashion brand. Since 1985,
And I'm Tim, I'm CTO and co-founder of Mention Me, so I'm the ringer on the panel, and I run the team that develops and maintains and makes sure the platform works and does what you need it to do to make your referral programs work great.
Great, thanks guys. So we know why Tim started referral marketing, we've seen the pool in Andy's presentation. For everyone else, so what led to actually make that decision to start referral marketing? Mia, what you started?
Yeah, sure. We're really, acquisition for us is massive. We don't have, we don't revenue and such like retailers do. Ours is all about traffic. So we've always been trying to find ways to acquire better and same people that we're already speaking to, and what's better than your current audience. So there was a lot of companies that do referral marketing, but Mention Me was the quickest, easiest, cheapest, and it's worked out really well so far.
So I'd met Lizzie years ago when I worked at an agency called More2, and when I moved to No1 Lounges, there's this whole issue of, only 6% of people who travel actually know that airport lounges exist, and I don't know how many people in this room actually knew that we exist. So there was a whole drive for acquisition, and then I remembered all these amazing presentations where I was like, oh, referral could work. And it did work, kind of immediately, which was great. But lounges and that experience, I think, being a referable product.
Well, Mention Me is actually the reason we do referral marketing. So they came to us. We didn't really know much about it in terms of how we could implement it digitally and online. They came to us with a brilliant business case. The more we heard about it, the more we thought it was a no-brainer to do it. Got very loyal customers, and so we thought this is going to work perfectly for us. And it just gave an opportunity for us to be able to track empirically and really accurately how we can get new customers online. That's really the reason why we do referral marketing, because of you guys.
Awesome. And so very quickly as well, just for everyone, so how long have they been up and running now, your programs?
Ours about 8 or 9 months now, I think.
Yeah, 1.5 years.
So since September last year.
Cool.
Can't do the maths.
Okay, cool. Good. So we've got a nice sort of varied mixture of maturity in those programs, which is great. So obviously you're all managing multiple different marketing channels, projects, initiatives at any given time. Chloe, how does referral fit into your marketing plan, wider plan?
So wider plan, I think it's super important the business is seeing the value in it. I think for a while it was just like the thing that Chloe did and nobody really understood it. But as I think, you can prove, like actually you were saying with the higher AOV, that just across the board is being consistently higher for any new referred customers. Mm-hmm. It's still a smaller channel compared to something like PPC, which we are just reliant on. But we're growing it in terms of the amount of promotion points that we have, where it fits in within the customer journey, and I'm trying to work on, how when you're actually in the lounge and everybody's like cheers in their prosecco, when could somebody then be like, oh, this would be amazing for these amount of friends, and trying to fit it in that journey as well. So either having kind of incentive to share on Facebook or Instagram when you're actually enjoying yourself, like when you're opening your box of shoes and going, this is amazing. So it's still smaller, but I think big potential to grow bigger.
Great. And Raj, same question to you?
It's quite an important part of the marketing plan, particularly as we focus on our online acquisition over the next year and a half or so, because it's been acquisition online is very obviously it's a big part of acquisition for the business as a whole. We've been previously very much a retail business, so we found this was like a really good opportunity to access new customers online, and as part of their marketing plan, it's really important as like kind of a starting point we found, and then really kind of implementing more and more strategies via like social and whatnot. And I think Mention Me fits quite nicely into that as well, because we can kind of give our customers that platform through which they can refer their friends as well, and then as well as you guys mentioned already, like via other channels like email and. But yeah, no, those are kind of the main ways that fits within our marketing plan.
Great. So you all made that decision to start. Hopefully we did a half decent job as a sales team. The next thing is obviously onboarding and actually getting started. So Mia, what was that onboarding process like for you guys?
Yeah, really easy. We had a dedicated, I don't know what you call them, dedicated support, like one-on-one to get us up and running. The tech side was very, very simple. We just got our agency to implement the tags, and we were up and running within a couple of weeks. We worked really, really fast as a business, so it fit perfectly for us. My boss always wants to see instant results, so that was really good for me. But yeah, it was really easy. Yeah.
Great. And Chloe?
Yeah, I think it was about 8 weeks. It wasn't painful. We didn't install the tags via Google Tag Manager, but and so we just installed them on site. But that was relatively pain-free. I mean, I didn't actually do the installing of them, so sorry guys. But yeah, I think from having the first conversation with you, Lizzie, to actually going live was pretty quick, and we were able to easily say, yeah, here's our brand, go and just design something, which was good.
Great. And so very conveniently, given that we've just spoken about having a tag manager and not having a tag manager, we've got our CTO on the panel as well.
Yeah, from our perspective, we try and work really hard to make the integration process with Mention Me as easy as possible, and for most of our clients it's a 2-tag integration, which allows it to be quite simple. It's platform agnostic, so we can work with pretty much any of the platforms that you run your businesses through. We kind of pride ourselves on having a kind of toolkit of options and features that let us fix all sorts of problems that you may come across in the integration, so not every client finds it as easy as another. And so we try and work with you to make it work as part of your program. We have a dedicated onboarding team who works with you to set that process up and make sure the program is configured the way you want it to be. And we have a series of questions that we walk you through to make it straightforward. It's normally about 4 to 6 weeks. So
Great. So let's talk a bit about referral offers, and obviously we've got some different answers here. So starting with SheerLuxe, Mia. So you've gone down the route of free gifts, giveaways, kind of stay away from discounting. Do you want to just talk through?
Sure. So we're not a retailer, so we can't offer money off products or anything. But we work with amazing brands, some which are in the room today, and we've worked with them to leverage really exciting products that we know our audience are interested in, want to get their hands on. So we offer free sampling to different brands. They refer a friend to SheerLuxe.com to sign up to our mailing list, and they both get a prize. So it could be anything from a really expensive perfume to a new lipstick that's just launched or something. And it's great because that's fantastic for us for acquisition. Word of mouth has always been massive for us, and now we can leverage that digitally, but also our current audience are getting a freebie out of it as well, so they're happy as well.
Absolutely. Cool. And Raj, you did some sort of testing around the copy in the early stages with Simon. So what kind of tests were you running there, and what were the outcomes of that?
So as some of the clients in the room will know, one of the most standard tests to do is like a give and get variation to work out whether your customer's giving or selfish. Selfish is probably the wrong word, sorry. Just like thinks about themselves a bit more. And so we tried out like give 15% or give 20% off or get £10 off. Our customers are a little bit more selfish, so we got £10. It's get £10 off. But I mean, I think that'd probably be the same. And then we kind of did some further tests around copy that I hadn't really thought of. So like being a bit more like saying like fancy £10 off, or being a bit more kind of to the point, get £10 off, give 20% off, and again, it was that really like to the point, direct message that really worked with our customers. And it really like, I put this to the entire e-commerce team, and I gave them kind of a similar demonstration that you did, Hannah, where like, I kind of said, which one do you think won? And they didn't get any of them. So we really need to work out our customers a bit more. But yeah, it's really kind of gives that insight.
Right. And Chloe, can you talk to some of the testing that you guys did around the kind of levels of discount and those offers that you led with at No1 Lounges?
Yeah, so we did like, we started off doing, you know, percentage off versus pounds off, 10%, 15%, £10, £7.50. The £10, £7.50 one was interesting because we just tested that to see, I just wanted to get, is there a sweet spot for the discounting? Because I don't just want to be giving off, you know, £10 all the time. We tested that and I just thought, okay, £10 is definitely going to win. And then £7.50 actually won on conversions and so purchase rate, but £10 won on the share rate. So I was like, £7.50 it is then, great. So we stuck with that for quite a long time, just because it was working really well. I think that's sort of interesting, £7.50 off, like kind of catches people off guard. I don't know if you've ever seen like 17% off and you're like, oh, okay, maybe I'll go for that one. But we kind of, testing that psychology, and now we're running a £5 off for, you know, if you refer, and then the person you have referred gets £5 off each guest in their booking. So we find typically like 2 guests per booking.
Great. And then we'll stay with you actually, Chloe, just in terms of measuring the success then of those campaigns and tracking the performance of Referral as a channel. What metrics are you kind of reviewing constantly?
Yeah, so purchase rate, big one for me, and new customer volumes. We saw quite a nice just increase as we went on, and that petered off but is now increasing again, and obviously it's quite so seasonal travel. So yeah, you know, that is a big focus for us, and I'm constantly monitoring that. AOV as well, which I mentioned, is consistently stronger than other channels. And yeah, lifetime value as well, and looking at, you know, how referral works in terms of lifetime value, and I've recently done analysis that's shown it's about 3 times more valuable than other channels, which is good.
Great.
So yeah.
Yeah, and Mia, how about SheerLuxe?
Yeah, again, because we're publishers, it's very different, but it's mainly engagement across content. We track constantly any new acquisitions, whether they are actually engaging, interested in what we're publishing. And then unsubscribing rates, if they're really, really high, then we know it's not a viable source for new subscribers. But Referral has become actually one of our top and most quality pool of new customers so far, so it's great.
And you've kind of seen that in the unsubscribe rates?
Yeah, definitely, and content. So our open rates increase, our click rates increase, everything.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Tim, do you want to just talk to some of the tools that we...
Yeah, so it's worth just describing how we think about referral. So as going back to Andy's presentation, we think of it as a kind of funnel with 2 halves, because there's a social psychology referral happening in the middle of that. So that's why we talk about the 2 rates, the share rate and the purchase rate. So the share rate is what proportion of your customers, your existing customers, go on to share, and then the purchase rate is of those who share with their friends, what percentage of those customers go on to buy. And by looking at breaking down the funnel in that way, it gives us a really good way to hang some of the tests that we're working on, and to see both sides of that funnel, because they are 2 distinct funnels. And we tend to focus on optimizing the share rate first, because it's the easiest one to get volume through at the start. And once you've got the share rate really going and you understand what it takes to get your referrers, your existing customers, to become referrers, then we tend to focus on the purchase rate, which is then the pickup rate on the back of that. And as we just talked about, the different types of incentives can play into those 2 different funnels in different ways. And so at the end of it, getting it really working is about the combination of both those things.
Great. And so the next session after the panel, Zoe's going to lead the session, and a big part of that is going to be talking about promotion points and how you get these referral offers in front of your customers at the right time. So Chloe, again, just coming back to how you guys have kind of run this, what promotion points have you been leveraging?
So yeah, it was post-purchase, it's obviously the biggest one, and one we've been running for the longest time. We do promotions on emails. So actually, just the other day I just sent out an email, and then Nick sent me a snapshot being like, you sent out an email and look at the share rate, and it just went spiked up to 26% just instantly. So that was a really important one, and one that now I'm just going to continue using. We do, in the kind of post-purchase funnel and the post-lounge visit, we ask people, did you have a lovely time at the lounge? And then if they've said that they have, we then send them an incentive to refer. And yeah, we're exploring, like I said, kind of the in-lounge experience. So yeah, just I think either Facebook check-in or using social channels to leverage that.
Raj, where are you guys promoting?
Very much post-purchase, and then we also launched with a landing page as well to allow for email marketing. But we haven't done as much as we probably want to. Mainly just it's a resource thing, but we do really want to push for more emails, service emails, very similar to the journey that Chloe just described, like post-purchase. I think that would be very, very effective because it's that nice feeling that a customer's got, they've just bought, and just kind of want to remind them, here's the opportunity. And then obviously on social we want to push a bit more, but yeah, at the moment just those two.
Great. And Raj, stay with you actually. So obviously you promote the offer to your customers, and at that point we want to make sure that we have a compelling offer for them. And we've spoken a lot about the testing already, but how important has that A/B testing been to your referral program so far?
It's been magnanimous. It's so important. It's one of the main reasons that we went ahead with Mention Me, just so we could do that, to actually own it. We've done so many tests. We tested offers, we tested copy, as we said. We've even tested the ordering of which referral method that the customer sees first. And we've just seen the results really do. Our purchase rate has always been very good. It's our share rate that we wanted to improve, and it's just been getting better and better. And that, I think that's really that USP that you guys offer, that I think is really working really well for us.
Great, thank you. And Chloe, how about No1 Lounges? How important is the testing been to the success so far?
Yeah, very important. I think just testing the sort of weird combinations of things that you wouldn't expect is really important. I still want to test a few more of the kind of image, people images versus a lounge image.
Yeah.
But it's just getting people in the photography. So, but yeah, I think it definitely is important just trying to understand those combinations. You're never going to understand everything, and you're still just always going to want to test. But yeah, it's an important thing of the journey to just keep on challenging yourself as a business.
Yeah, great. And Tim?
Yeah, so I think it's worth just talking a little bit about A/B testing and why it's especially challenging in referral. So obviously lots of people do A/B testing, and when you're just testing an experience on site, testing the button colour or changes to the page, it's quite easy to get results. But because of the nature again of the social interaction in referral, the A/B testing becomes much more difficult. So what Mention Me allows you to do is automatically put your customers into cohorts where you can test different things at, for example, post-purchase, change those things, but also keep those cohorts having a consistent experience. So if you run an offer with £10 off each way today, and in 2 weeks' time you run an offer with £20 off each way, you can keep those two cohorts separate, give the customers still have a consistent experience, and you can measure the performance of those cohorts over time, because referral can take longer than other channels to work because of the nature of that interaction. And so the real power of A/B testing by cohort is to be able to do that really easily and allow you to test lots of different options at the different touch points. And we see typically a 6-fold improvement in performance over the first kind of 12 months of the life cycle of the client because of that testing process. And we're often proved wrong when we start off with a hypothesis at the start. It tends to be not the optimum solution, and it always takes testing to get to the right answer. So that's why it's important.
Great. Thank you. Okay, right, I think we've got time for one more thing. I don't want to cut into Zoe's session, so you'll put one person on the spot right at the end. So what do you know now that you wished you'd known when you'd launched Referral? That's one thing. I'm going to put someone in the spot if not. Right, Raj, I'm going to you, sorry.
To be honest, I think just be really prepared, make sure. I think one thing that we didn't realise was the kind of resource element of it, in terms of we want to promote everywhere. I wish we'd known about all the answers to our A/B test before, but that's obviously not going to happen. So then obviously we would have started off and it would have been perfect. But I think, yeah, it's just kind of really giving it the time and energy that it needs in terms of giving that promotion. I think as I said, like we've been a bit slow with the promotional side of it. I think if you haven't launched yet, really think about how you want to plan it over the next 6 months or your first year, and really like own in on your customer success manager and really use that resource and to get that plan in place, because then you can really like hit the ground running, because I think that's what everyone really is a little bit worried about, and so that will really put you in good stead.
Awesome. Right guys, thank you so much. That was amazing. No G&Ts required as well, which is always a bonus. So can we get a round of applause for our panelists?